This is a video of a clip from a longer session. It's actually from a session on spiritual awakening. These are beings that are trying to really see what they are. Who am I? Answer those questions. And part of this process is releasing the unconscious content for pain and suffering. And so what you're going to see is a clip out of a longer session which describes how consciousness, we call consciousness unconscious and conscious content, how that separation, how that hidden content gets, we call it miscreated, and then how to actually release it. And in these discussions we talk about that really Jesus was teaching forgiveness is release of unconscious content. So we may call it forgiveness, or we call it a miracle to release that content, but that is the same as transcendent function. And we may refer to Jesus as the symbol of the voice for wholeness within that knows where the bones are buried in the subconscious mind, and so it can actually facilitate bringing this unconscious content into awareness.
I joined in very late and I caught, and I'm not sure if this is exactly what you were talking about, where it was something about an anger that arises when clarity isn't coming in, and I'm speaking this because this is where I've been for a couple of days, and it's a pattern that I've seen with me where it's I get frustrated and angry, and I get caught up in believing it's God that doesn't love me, or God that doesn't want me to hear his voice, and why me, and why am I still struggling with the same things that I've been struggling with for years, and there's been so much practice and so much just blah 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 blah. So I don't know if that's kind of what you were talking, but that kind of made my ear like like it stood up, because I'm like, I've really been dealing with a lot of anger towards God. And this has happened, thankfully not as often as it used to, but it's been a while since I've felt this anger. It's like, oh, it's because you don't want to heal me or free me, or so if you can just talk about that, that would be great.
Oh, what a wonderful topic. Thank you. Because this does arise on the spiritual journey where I just remember I felt mad enough to tear a tiger apart at one point. And you have these moments. So here's another way to look at that. Okay, if you look at the diagram, I don't know if you got to see the diagram, but thankfully this will be up on Awakening Together. You can watch it again where I go through these layers in consciousness. Anger is like an emotion, and it's really deep in the dive in consciousness. See, once you catch this trick, you're going to be able to you'll be able to see, you'll take the emperor will have no clothes. So the anger is a way the ego starts diving into the bubble so that it doesn't turn the other way and look, wait a minute, what's driving, what fuel is driving this anger? At first it feels like I have no control over that. But if you look under it to go, this is interesting. So there's something that the ego does not want to see. So like you can go and look under it, and actually, if you look, and you'll see this, you can do this in light circles, you can do it now. You just go, okay, what's under the anger? What's before the anger? What do you hear? This is for all of us. Maricel, when you ask inside, just go inside to your voice for truth, that's you, and go, this is interesting. Just be curious. Don't judge it. Just go, what's under that?
A lot of hurt.
Okay.
Abandonment and not being
okay. Look now look how quickly the voice of wholeness, when you go to that, you get some good information. See how good that information is? Because we could, so instead of, kind of going into that, you just look, okay, what's it hiding? Now, this is an important experience in consciousness that it generates. All of Genesis is in order to feel abandoned by God. Okay. So this is a valuable thing she's discovered. Okay. So now you go back to that inner voice. You're listening to it again and just go, okay, this is interesting. Don't judge it, abandonment or anything, but see if you can find, when you look, go, I wonder if somewhere down in my subconscious mind, there's a part of myself that wants the experience of abandonment. See if you can find it.
I've never asked myself that question. That's interesting. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, so you can just sit for a while, because sometimes you'll find it bloom and the next day and you'll go, oh my God, I totally want that experience. I'd be sitting there, it was like, wow, I love it. It's like riding a bike at first, because like you said perfectly, I never really thought about it that way. But you'll see it. I mean, when he'd start showing me stuff like abandonment, I looked at with him at abandonment. Okay. And I'd ask him, Jesus, do I have a desire for experience? And then I heard, yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. Do I like it? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I like it. And it was like it can get to the point where it feels like every cell wanted the experience of abandonment. But don't judge it. Okay. You don't want to judge anything that he shows you. Okay.
But then my mind comes in and it says, well, of course you would feel like this because this was your experience as a child.
Yeah.
Yes. It's trying to put the blame out there.
Yes. That's so good. See, you caught it. See, when we start noticing, that is the way out. See, she did it. And the beauty of that too, that demonstration, is you didn't take it personally. See, you noticed it. See, you're outside of it when you start to notice how consciousness is playing. And that's how it plays. It looks for proof and it goes, oh my gosh, this happened and this happened when I was little. And that's the reason why. And what happens, it's like putting on a pair of glasses, a pair of brown glasses, and then every experience that comes after it gets shaded by that experience. But what you can do is you'll see how powerful your mind is. Just kind of reel it back and go, okay, that's very interesting. So you don't take that, you don't take all that too seriously. You just go, okay, that's interesting. And let me just see if, and I hear, yes, you're willing. Is it okay for me to use Jesus? You okay with Jesus? To call on Jesus, or you want to call it something else?
I'm fine with that.
Okay, or God, it works really good. Okay, Jesus, will you show me the place in my mind? Do I want this experience of abandonment? Is there a place in my subconscious mind that wants to feel it abandoned? Yes or no?
Maybe yes, because that's what I'm used to.
Yes, look, she's already starting to catch it. Okay, so it plays like that. Now I'm asking if we can, because I always follow what he says because he knows how this works. Now, here's the profound thing. If you want a direct experience of the Course in Miracles, he's saying there's confusion in the subconscious mind where it flips heaven and hell. So now you can just go and say, okay, this is interesting. So yeah, maybe I do like this. Or want it. I didn't realize I wanted it. So you see the innocence in that. Now, okay, hold on to your seats. You got to put your seatbelt on for this one, okay? Just incubate with this, okay? Don't judge it, but just incubate, because when your mind gets blown on this one, you're just going to start to see a way out to ridiculous amount of happiness, okay? So just say, is there any possibility there's a part of me that thinks abandonment is happiness? Yes or no? It's confused and think the experience of abandonment, I'll get happy if I experience abandonment. It's a way to get to heaven.
It's mind-blowing and crazy.
But isn't it good to see? It's exciting. I'm the only one when people get really mad and I'm happy when they come in. Yeah, let's look. See, you can get happy looking, but you can see it. So talk about what you're seeing. It's beautiful.
I'm not getting an answer, but there's kind of like like when you get hit in between the eyes with something, that's what it feels like. So there may be truth in that.
Look, this is the path to supreme happiness. Because first of all, you're so willing to see what's true and you're not judging. This is so important in these light circles or in these joinings. Just kind of explore it and go, oh, this is interesting. Maybe I didn't understand at all how consciousness was working. Maybe there's a secret. See, these are secret hidden desires against myself. See, and then we want it. It's a secret wish. And then our minds are so powerful. This is mind blowing. It's going to create the experience that seems to be out there that says, look, see, I'm abandoned by God.
When the tears come, I know it's because it's true. When the tears come, I know there's truth.
So that's profound that you're so willing to look. Okay. So but you can ask him. We call it asking, okay, Jesus, have I accepted a miracle? Am I willing to see this differently? Oh, I hear yes. What are you hearing? Am I willing to see that I can never get happiness from abandonment?
Yes.
Isn't that beautiful? I could hear yes too. See, we'll all hear it. That's the power of brothers. See, I can ask here. What did you hear, Mary?
Yes, she's willing.
She's willing. See, well, because there's only one voice, this is how we can support each other. Okay. So am I willing to change my mind that I can never get happy with abandonment experience? I hear yes. Okay. And then I just kind of asked Jesus, like, Jesus, okay, so have I seen this fully? Or is anything else you want to see? Me to see? Is there anything else? I hear yes, there might be something else. What else are you hearing that we might need to see? See, it's for everyone. It's not whatever she's seeing is for all of us.
It just seems that there's so much. There's so many other layers of things.
Yes. But you can ask that voice, or will you help me see through all of this? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll get, we call it the bobblehead of Jesus, meaning that we get so quick at hearing that voice of truth that your head just, you'll see very quickly where the denials are, what still needs to be released. What I hear is it's just a little more looking. I'm asking if there's any more additional benefit. I don't hear. I feel like you're really willing to look to see you don't get any benefit from that play.
Well, definitely the abandonment and the rejection are entwined.
Okay, so this is good too, because what you can do, okay, so we always ask them, okay, Jesus, do we go deeper on abandonment? So I think we can put that aside just a moment. There might be more to see. And if there is, you just learn to have him show you the energy of it. But what I hear is, okay, now look at the Jesus. is there a desire for an experience of feeling rejection in my subconscious mind? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, good. See, she's okay. Now, again, we're not judging it. It's profound to see this. Okay, now, what benefit does that part of me think it's getting from that experience? If there was one. On the surface, it'll go, no, I can never get a benefit by feeling rejected. But we'll just set that aside and go, no, what's the play in consciousness think it can get by being rejected?
The only thing I can get is just can see itself as separate. I can see myself.
Yes. The
And
other word, try this word on, okay? Test this out. It's a belief that it being rejected is actually some kind of safety.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can see how powerful. Thank you so much. This is such a gift to everyone because she's so honest. First of all, you're an honesty of God, very much so. So, and that's the only way we can move through these things is to be willing to see, oh, that's interesting. Here's where I'm confused in my subconscious mind that actually being rejected makes me feel safe. But then you can just say, okay, well, am I willing to see I can never get safety from the experience of rejection?
Oh, yes.
See, because then we can see the truth. And then that, I'm asking if we can ask this one. Okay, this is a deep one. See if you can see this. Jesus, was I choosing the experience of rejection all along? Did I choose that experience? Yes or no?
Yes.
That this is so profound. You can't be free until you see this stuff. So this is really, she's going really pretty direct. That's pretty darn direct. That's honesty of God. And Jesus, am I willing to see that it's no longer, sir, it's not helpful, that I can never find safety this way?
Yeah. Yeah.
I hear yes. What do y'all hear? Yeah, they're getting some yeses here too. That's a heavy burden, those two things, aren't they?
Yep.
So
Definitely.
now you can see we're powerful. That's why I love A Course in Miracles, because it shows you how powerful your mind is. And that we do have the power to choose differently when we have this level of self-honesty that she's sharing with us. It's so honest and so willing to hear the voice of wholeness. See, it's honesty of God to admit the denials. Oh, okay, I was choosing that experience. Well, so how do you feel? Do you feel you're empowered? You don't have to choose that experience anymore? Oh, I hear yes, I hear it already. Do you hear that? That you don't have to choose those experiences anymore?
Yeah, I do. It's crazy though. It's weird.
Like Muji says, you have to be a little bit crazy to be free. But the discovery, happiness is in the discovery, is that we went insane and got addicted to consciousness experience and pretended like it was real and tried to prove that we could be separated from God. So when you look deeply, is it possible in your heart of heart for you to be separate from God? Yes or no? In your direct experience?
No. And what's crazy is that before this came on, this whole anger thing with God and this feeling sorry for myself again thing, I was really feeling that strongly of there's no way I can be separate. There's no way. It just like right before I fell asleep, it was just like this, because I felt that wanting to reject or wanting to feel abandoned. And I was like, whoa, that's not possible. It for a split second. And then the anger came in and the whole, yeah.
So what you just described was how consciousness dives into the dream bubble, especially when you've seen something like it was me seeing the light. And then as soon as, the light becomes apparent and I can't be separate, all those desires, those hidden desires start coming up into play. But see, now you can be onto the trick and just go, oh, if I'm upset, I just need to join and look. So, we're going to try and have 24/7 joining. So we call it jump a join. So you can just wait, I'm going to look at this. You see, we don't have to tolerate these things in our mind. And it's a powerful way to hear the spirit. But there's no substitute for this willingness that she's showing. She's willing to look. That's so essential. Because if we're not willing, we can keep these plays of hell for a really long time. So anger is always that smoke and mirror stuff. It's way up in the dream bubble, up here above where the desire is. So usually a lot of times what happens, you'll see this in the play where there's anger. We just want to just live inside that thing, and it starts a story. I've been screwed and whatever. And Jesus will go, okay, come over here and look with me. Let's see this in the light of truth. No, I'm not. You can go, no, I'm going to give something up if I look, but you can see the simplicity of this looking. But you can also see it's counter to everything that's taught in our culture. See, because how can you have victim and victimizers if we're choosing the experience to be a victim or a victimizer? But you can't have both those things and have one. In order to have a victim, you have to have a victimizer. Do you see how this plays in consciousness? They're simultaneous. So in order to have abandonment, we have to have something to be abandoned, but we have to ultimately see that we're abandoning ourselves. We're abandoning identity of what we are, giving it the boot out of our awareness. So thank you for bringing all these things. It's like pretty deep dive.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you.